What's up with the YouTube fam? What's up with y'all, man? It's been a minute. But wherever you're watching this, whatever time it is, may God bless you on this day. Today, I'm back with another video, breaking down my trades for the past few days, and also how I was able to pass 600K worth of funded accounts, phase one and phase two with Top Tier Trader. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all my challenge results for phase one and phase two, and then I'm gonna swap over to the charts and break down some trades and give some value and hopefully give some encouragement, because it's a pretty interesting story. And it only took me about 8 days. I think it's like 8 days. Really 7, because I only traded 7 of the past 2 trading weeks. A trading week is 5 days. So I only traded 7 days out of it hasn't even been 10 days yet in 2 trading weeks since I started this account. And I was able to bounce back from pretty much one of the worst trading weeks that I've ever had. And then preceded that with the best trading week that I've ever had, where I got over a combined 26% returns. And basically the market has just been moving really consistent, about as consistent as it's been all year for the past 2 weeks. Like you won't see this type of price action on indices. Mainly, I'm a US dirty 30 king. You feel me? I'm Dow down. You feel me? So yeah, I pretty much only trade US 30, and the past like 2.5 weeks has been very consistent movement, and I was able to take advantage of it. So what I have right here on screen is the challenge accounts that I had, and this first one is blown. This first one down here, this is the first time I've ever failed to fund it. I've been trading for about 1.5 years, and I've never failed to fund a challenge. I've blown accounts. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn a little bit. You feel me? But I've blown accounts, but I've never blown funded challenges before. I've blown funded accounts, but not funded challenges. This was the first time that I ever did that, and this is what I was saying. Pretty much the worst trading week that I had. Blew it real quick. I actually started up 3%. The first trade I took, I was up 3%. So I really blew it. I really lost like 11% in about 2 weeks on this account. But that's not what we're here for. You feel the first count, and I did all these pretty much the same day. I think they're about a day apart. You can see, actually I started this one on the 8th, but the one I started, this one was started on the 5th, right? And it doesn't say when. It only took me 5 days to pass this challenge. So this is the first one I started, and 2 days later I did this one 2 or 3 days later, and you can see there's only 4 active trading days here. So it only took me 4 days to pass phase one for both of these accounts. And you can see it doesn't let you drill in, but you can see like this is very skewed because I trade on a trade copier. I take a lot of practice trades to dial in my trade copier. So my win and loss percentage is a little skewed. But even so, it's pretty good. 50% is pretty good. Yeah. So I guess the most I can show you is when I started this and how many days it took. So that was this total of 4 days. And then today is Tuesday. Same thing. Again, I was dialing in my trade copier to kind of practice and get in. So this percentage is a little bit off, but it only took me four trading days to finish this. And I started on the 12th, and it's now the 17th. So about four trading days, 5 total days. It took me to finish this, and same thing with this. They're done on the same time, right? Started on the 12th, 4 trading days. So a combined total of 9 days, 9 active trading days, but I only really traded 7 of those days. I have a minimum trading day. I don't have the add-on for no minimum trading day, so I need to trade 4 days. I actually passed phase 2 in 2 days for both of these. I just needed to trade for 4 total days to make sure I was sticking to that rule of 4 minimum trading days. So I didn't even need the 4 days. So that's the account. That's the proof of these accounts. I got my funded accounts earlier today. Praise God. I also simultaneously was taking some other challenges and passed those as well. And I'm funded $1 million. Like I said this in a previous video. By the end of the year, I'd be funded $1 million. Your boy did that. You feel me? Round of applause. Round of applause. It is what it is. I also was able to take this on some accounts that was already funded, get these moves and do some cool withdrawals. You feel me? It's already a Merry Christmas. My son and my family gonna get some real good Christmas gifts for me. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. So let's see what the trades is looking like. Let's do a quick breakdown. I got us in replay mode, and we're looking at the daily chart right here. So if we look at this, and I'll get rid of the bars real quick, but you can see how consistent this has been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total days, and this is today, or this is Tuesday, the 17th. We made this rejection right here off of all-time highs, and for 9 straight days coming back to our nearest level of demand very consistently. So I don't know how everyone trades. I'm not sure whatever your trading practices are or whatever strategy you use, but this couldn't be more clear for supply and demand traders what was going on. So and then when we drill in to price action on the daily, this is on the hourly, you can see how consistent price has been moving. And I'm not even playing. This has not been as consistent as it has the entire year. We have not moved like this at all this year. I mean, maybe in a bullish run at some point earlier in the year, but definitely not for this long. I hit every single one of these days. You know what I'm saying? So my strategy is supply and demand. And you can see on, what was this, Monday? I didn't trade this Friday. So, but you can see price action was literally identical from Monday and today. On Monday, we have this supply setup right here on the hourly at 438 or 43900. That's price. This was a previous level of resistance. So when the market opened, New York open, Pacific Standard Time for me is 6:30. The 6:30 and 7 o'clock candle basically broke and retested. And then from there, it melted. When it was my turn, when my trade window opened up, all I had to do is ride through this correction right here. And then price at the end of the day melted, which I knew it was going to do because of market structure, right? We have this on this hourly candle. You can see this green bar or this green doji right after, a bearish dump in price, setting up supply. So on the hourly, you can see these two candles are just correcting into the supply zone. It just took all day. And then literally the last hourly candle of the day went and gave us a 2% just to close the day. So I held through all of this chop. One trade, that's my rule. If I do, it's usually if I get out early or take too many trades, I crash out. So one trade, one loss, one win. That's all I'm looking for. And I was able to hold through all this chop, pretty decent standard stop loss. and it paid out. And because I was on such a streak already, it's easy to hold. The psychology was in my favor. So then today, pretty much the same price action. You can see it's gearing up. So we have our supply here now. So I can fast forward 1 hour. You can see price melted there. Now all we have to do is two things we're looking for. We're looking for price to come back in this area, or create another level of supply down here. And when we fly over to the lower time frames, you can see on the 30-minute price right here created supply, two supply zones. One right here that's fully being respected, and then a bigger one right outside of it. So then I like to do my zones on the 30-minute and the 5-minute, because on US 30 price tends to respect the 30-minute and the 30-minute and the 15-minute more than any other time frame. And it's easier to see the moves, but then I go to the 5-minute to enter. And you can see where we put that 30-minute initially. And I know a lot of people are going to tell you it doesn't matter if your zones are not precise. For me, every pip matters. Every pip counts. You know what I'm saying? It all counts. It matters. It don't matter as much, but if it matters, it matters, bro. That's all that matters. You feel me? You understand me? So on the 30-minute, you saw that there was a demand zone right here. That's where I marked this out. And then I pulled up to the 15-minute. There's a confluential demand zone on the 15-minute. And when you have the same zones showing up on 2, maybe 3 different time frames, the more time frames, the more confluence. So you can see this bar right here, and even this one, really technically, if we spread it out. But this bar right here is a demand zone or a supply zone on 2 different time frames. So now, to me, at this point, 7:45, I'm looking at the chart. I know that this is valid because not only is the supply zone appearing on 2 separate time frames, it's also being respected on 2 separate time frames. So that green bar right here failed to break highs. We swept out highs up here to actually tap into another area of supply right there, which is even more confluence right there, and then respect a level of supply right below it. So we have this level of supply being respected, and right below it another level of supply being respected, and then right after a bearish push down. So all I have to do is wait for price to come back into this area. And how far does it come in? Well, there's 2 ways to determine how far price is going to pull back and where to get in. You have support. This green line right here was a previous 4-hour support that I created way back when. And this is the reason why I like to keep my supply or my support and resistance zones on my chart, because it's always, if you zoom out or scroll left, you'll find structure. So I don't like to have to continuously refine the same levels of structure. I like to keep them there. I do cleanup every once in a while, probably like once every 2 weeks, but I try to keep the more significant levels present, and then I'll refine them as well. So how do we know where price is going to pull back? If we go on the smaller time frames, you can also find what supply and demand. And using both larger time frames and smaller time frames in confluence at the same time is pretty much how I became profitable. And this is some real sauce for y'all. Y'all gonna be asking me how y'all did it, how did it did. This is free sauce, bro. And a lot of people ain't gonna teach you this stuff. But the more time frames you have in confluence, the more likely your zones are going to they're gonna hold up. So right about here, we have a level of resistance. So we have a 4-hour level of resistance right here that is very clearly being respected. There's also a 5-minute level of resistance that's being respected. So all we got to do is wait for this swing high to be broken, taken out, and rejected. Respected, rejected, I'll take it. The last part didn't rhyme, but you get what I'm saying. I also like to mark up my demand zones, even though I'm bearish. If I'm bullish, I'll still mark up my supply zones. These are ways to sort of get your profit targets. So I know that this is our nearest level of demand. I know if I enter somewhere up here and this is a 1-to-1, I know that price is going to come back down there, right? Price moves from supply to demand. It doesn't matter if you're bearish, doesn't matter if you're bullish. It's going to hit your supply, it's going to hit your demand. Which one it respects overall, that depends on the trend, the overall trend. But in the chart that you're looking at, the time frame that you're looking at, if there is supply, it's going to respect it. If there is demand, it's going to respect it, at least once. So fast forward, this is about 8 o'clock now. So you can see we got a big bullish push. A lot of people would have taken this demand setup, and this is a valid setup as long as you're not expecting a breakout, because price overall is bullish. So if you want to get 500 points or pips or whatever, this is valid. And you could also maybe even go for 2, right? We're targeting for price to come up here and make structure or break structure up here and make new structure for us to get in. So boom, you see that? Almost time to get in right there, right? Almost time to get in. Boom. Not quite. So we have price being respected there. Once we didn't break structure and we're pulling back. So this is where, if you got into this trade, you probably want to get out. You probably want to get out right there, right? Because we didn't get a break and a retest. If price wants to come far down, it'll need to break structure and then come back. So it'll need to do this. Let me show you. From here, it'll need to do this. It'll need to do that. But let's see what happens. Boom. So we did go down, but guess what? Do we go all the way down? No, we come back up to retest that area. We start to come back up to retest that area, and now we have now we got a break structure right there. So once this now is the break and retest that we were looking for, because we took out this level of liquidity. So if you were going long right here, or a short down here, you're cooked. You got cooked for long positions right here, and you got cooked for short positions right here. So now we can continue with the trend. And where did I get in? What time was this? I pretty much got in right here, right before this candle, pretty much as it broke. And then that's pretty much the rest of the day, bro. The rest of the day for me is just profit target after profit target. So my 1-to-1 is at this level of demand. That's confluence to me. Like I said in another video, like the markets move algorithmically. Everything, all of the big traders and the people who are moving the market, they're not actual people trading. It's programs and large amounts of money driving the market based off of mathematics, algorithms. That's all it is. So the more your trades line up algorithmically or mathematically, and I'm talking about, like, that's why I said every pip matters, every decimal matters, every point matters. It all matters. Some matter more than others, obviously, but it does matter. And the more precise you can get with your take profits, your stop losses, your entries, the more precise you get, the better results you're gonna have. It can't be perfect, but the closer you are to perfect, the better results you're gonna have. That might sound cliche and absurd, but trust me, this is how I've been able to rack up so much chicken, you feel me, doing what I'm doing. I'm not no math whiz. I did work a lot with statistics in my previous job. Basically my whole job was statistics and analytics. And that helped me with this. So I know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not just blowing smoke up you know what, you feel me? So when we play this through, you can see how precise it is. Like, boom, my 1-to-1 got hit and pulled back right away. Then you go 2-to-1, 2-to-1 start. This trade never was in drawdown. We had this little bit of drawdown, and we was good. You can see it respecting supply, respecting demand until one wins. And then boom, 2-to-1 got hit. 2-to-1 got hit, pulled back right away. I only needed 3-to-1 on this day. But I think actually, as a matter of fact, you're going to see what happens with the 3-to-1. It's actually kind of crazy. Boom. So now we still riding. We still rocking. We still rocking. We start to create demand down here. And boom, right here, it comes back up. Where does it come back up? Anybody want to take a guess? 1-to-1 comes right back into that 1-to-1 area. There's a level. We can get rid of this. There's a level of supply right here that is fully respected. It's just on a 5-minute. And because I'm in profit, I'm paying attention to the higher time frames. Actually, I did. I bounced up to the higher time frame, and guess what? Boom, supply being fully respected. Fully respected on the 15-minute. You know what I'm saying? Boom, fully respected on a 30-minute. Guess where we're heading? That kind of just gave it away. But yes, we are heading back down. And you could have entered into this position right here and got a smooth 1-to-1. Another double 1-to-1, double whammy. I actually don't know if this hit 3. I don't remember because I needed little less than 3-to-1. I think right here is when things start to trip out. But okay, boom, we did it. Now we did it. You feel me? I was basically done at this point because to pass the challenge, I didn't need more than this. So it was a little bit off. I know all that stuff I talk about, precision, it basically just kind of didn't happen right there, but it worked for me because I literally got exactly what I needed to pass every single challenge that I was taking today on this move. And then I did take this secondary move on my funded account to get a little bit extra for my payout that's coming up in a couple days for Christmas, before Christmas, you know what I'm saying? So I can buy some Christmas gifts and stuff. But yeah, I'm telling you, be precise. The devil is always in the details. You feel me? Everything that could go wrong is going to be the things. And look, the moment I was already out, I got out like probably right there, and it started to reverse because I also knew that on a macro level, what price wants to do. And stick around or stay tuned for another video. I'll show you exactly where price is going to go before the end of this year, what we're going to do. I'll make a video on that. Comment in the description if you want to see what US 30 is going to do before the end of the year, and I'll get that to you guys before the end of the year. But yeah, pretty much this is the way that price moved every single day since about December 3rd, I believe, the first week of this month. It looks a little bit different from the micro granular level, but when you zoom out, especially on the 1 hour, you get all of the details. On the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you can see price action has been pretty much identical. And if you are tuning in right now and seeing this on Tuesday, December 17th, or Wednesday, whenever I release this video, you just go back and check this out and play and back test this and see if you can find some areas where it starts to deviate. I'm willing to bet there's not more than 2 areas between Thursday, December 5th and Tuesday, December 17th that are completely different from the rest of the days. There's not more than 2 days that are different. And this is the way that US 30 tends to move. It moves cyclical, just like every other asset class, every other symbol, every other chart. But it does have a pattern. It doesn't do the same thing, but it does rhyme. So I'm gonna be breaking down US 30 action for the foreseeable future because I don't plan on not trading it. The reason why I prefer US 30 over Nas has very small movements compared to US 30. So while I'm trading my challenge accounts and funded accounts, I need bigger moves. So when we consolidate on US 30, Nas and US 30 they consolidate similarly, but because US 30 moves more aggressively and bigger moves, the consolidation you can still make 2% in a consolidation day on US 30, whereas Nas you might barely make 1%. So once I decide to trade my own funded account, I'll probably exclusively be trading Nas because Nas has tighter price action. It's more predictable, even though the moves are smaller. You don't need bigger moves when you got, triple six-figure stacked account, right? So, but that's pretty much it. For encouragement, I just want to say, like I said, I had probably my worst trading week where I lost about 12%, and blew a challenge account, and turned around and had my best trading week. And that's the way trading is. That's the way life is. If you stay down, you stay 10 toes planted in the concrete. You know what I'm saying? As long as you unshakable and unmovable, and you have faith not only in yourself but the one who created you, there's nothing that can stop you or can move you. There's things that can slow you down. For example, it took me, one of the challenge accounts I was doing, it took me about almost a month to complete it because it needed 15% to get through phase 1 and phase 2 total. It took me almost a month to pass. And then the following week after I passed it, I was eligible for a payout. And I got my payout, right? I made about 1.5%, almost 2%. And I stopped trading because I wanted to make sure that I got my payout, and I wanted to make sure that the account paid for itself. It took them a week to review my stats. And once they reviewed it, they denied my payout, and they breached my account and took my account without a refund. And you know why? It wasn't because I was a bad trader or I had bad trading practices, bad risk management, or I was gambling. The reason why they took it is because I violated the martingale rule. Martingale rule means you cannot add a larger trade to a already losing position in the opposite direction. So if you're shorting and you have a short position that's in drawdown and you add a winning position, or you add a long position to balance it out, that's a breach. I did do that, but you know what? I was calibrating my trade copier, and my short position was 0.02 cents lots, and my long position was 0.03 lots. And that was the first trade I took on that account. So 2 weeks later, because it took them a whole week to review my payout request. 2 weeks later, they come back saying you violated the martingale rule. You breached your account by 0.01 lots. And I'm like, I was so mad. I was so frustrated that leaked into my psychology. That spirit of frustration, that spirit of anger leaked into my psychology. And I'm not going to say that caused me to crash out, but it played a big part. Ultimately it's on me, right? It's not about what happens to you, it's how you handle it. It's all about accountability, and me being accountable for my own trading account, my own self as a man, as a human, as a child of God. I'm accountable, but I would be selling wolf tickets if I was to tell y'all that I wasn't upset by that. Not only that, they treated me like it didn't matter. Like, oh, 1 cent is 1 cent. We have to do this. We have to maintain our rules to be fair to everybody. I'm like, how's this fair to everybody? This ain't fair to me. You're taking my account, you're breaching my account, and you deny my payout. You could take the payout, just don't breach my account, bro. Like, that's fair. But that is the catalyst that triggered me to bond my account and to lose my first challenge ever. But a big setback sets the stage for a major comeback. You take one step back to take two steps forward. That's all I'm saying, bro. And that's why, if you are having trouble trading, if you're struggling with your trading, make the decision yourself to step back, or else the market is going to force you to step back. And that's okay. You just gonna hit the ground a little bit harder when you fall. So if you struggling, step back outside yourself, breathe, take a few days off, take 1 or 2, however many days you need to take off. In that time period, get back to studying, get back to studying the charts, studying yourself, learning who you are, understanding what it is that's causing you to burn, and put that fire out, you know what I'm saying? And get back on your horse. Pick up the cross. Pick up your cross and follow Christ, bro. That's what God commands us to do whenever we're struggling, whenever we're falling. It's just to get back up, pick up the cross, and get back step after step. You know what I'm saying? One step at a time. And because we are in grace, in our new identity in Christ, God gives us grace. It's gonna be easier the second time around. It's always gonna be easier. So when it's hard, just think about what's good. Don't think about what's bad. Think about what's good. The possibilities. What's gonna happen when you pass your challenge? What you're gonna do when you get your first payout? What's the next? Think about those things. Don't think about what might happen if you fail. You know what I'm saying? Take joy. Find joy. God commands us to find joy in everything. Count it all as joy. So that's me trying to encourage whoever is listening, whoever is watching it. I promise you, whatever you're going through is part of this. This is not easy. This is one of the hardest things I've had to do, but it is the most rewarding, and it has been heck of fun. So tap in with your boy. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all want to learn next. Shoot me a like, subscribe, say amen, say God bless you. Talk to me. I'll talk right back at you. You feel me? Love y'all. Peace.